Hello, hi there. My name is Yanni, and I'm talking today on how to get more clients, even if nobody has ever heard of it before. And some people ask now, why would I give this webinar? And it's easy for me to explain it with the drill bit story. If you work at a hardware store and people come to uni, the guy asked, but he's looking for a drill bit. You know, he's not actually looking for a drill bit. He's looking for a hole. So a good salesperson would say, how big do you want the hole? And what do you want to make the hole? Is it concrete or is it wood? How big do you want it? And then get these precise drill bit. So a lot of times where our problems come from is that we don't know what we want. And then sometimes we know what we want, but we don't know how to get it. So hopefully with this, I'll show you how to get more clients. A lot of people want more clients. They can handle more clients, but they don't know how to get more clients. So that's the idea behind it. So I ask that you please turn off distractions so that you can get more out of this and benefit more. And in a while, I'll ask some of the guys to unmute and be like a volunteer and then benefit more from the presentation. So at the end, I'll have a question and answer session that you can ask me any questions that's related to this webinar. And then if there's no questions about that, then other stuff that you think I might be able to answer, then I can help you with that. So my background, a little bit about me. I am originally from South Africa and I learned from a young age by selling my mother's knitwear for her, and I got commission. And then later my sister and I started a business with no money. We were in high school in a very small town, and then the health inspector came and shut it down. And then I learned that if I have this piece of paper, I won't need the documents that the health inspector required. So I got that documents. And then I also started one business with literally no money. And I went and I got just people's word that they would buy it if I bring it to them. And so I started it and it created a monthly income for me. And then another business that I started with less than R5. At that time, I actually got some money and made more than R1,600 in my first 2 weeks. So my results are not typical. It's very atypical. It's not to say that everybody's going to be able to do that, but you might get some ideas of something that you might want to do. And another idea I got playing Rich Dad's game called Cash Flow Quadrant. That's a guy that wrote the book Rich Dad, Poor Dad. And from that idea alone, I could fund my studies at university. So I didn't have to work at that time because that idea generated income and it paid for my studies. So yeah, and I'm about to launch another business, and I'm going to tell you some of that a little bit later. And before I learn this stuff that I'm about to learn to teach today, is I struggled to sell $300 worth of a product. I was with a network marketing company, and their product was, I just want to turn off my distraction here. Sorry about that. And then I learned what I'm about to share with you, and I packaged my products and then I ended up selling $4,500 of rand worth of products to one person, and I even sold more than one package to one family. So that was quite a happy day, and that's without being pushy or aggressive type of person. And while I was struggling to sell the 300 rands worth of stuff, I was listening to an audio of Brian Tracy, and he mentioned that 75% of the top salespeople are introverts. They are not extroverted people. And I rewind the tape because it didn't make sense to me. And I heard correctly. So I kept going, and I kept learning how to get more clients and how to approach people. So I worked in all areas of business, and I'm a project marketing consultant, and I help people make good choices and help them with their projects. Now, sometimes that's a marketing project. Other times it's getting stuff organized or getting uncluttered or stuff like that. So or even losing weight, depending on what project they want to work with, and they get stuck, then they consult with me. So in the last 7 to 9 minutes, I'm gonna share something. That's a lot of people ask me, what do you say when people tell you it's too expensive? And how do you overcome that price objectives? Because a lot of times people try to lower their price, and then they can't survive on that sales. So that is just before the Q&A. So as an introduction, I'm using Zoom's free version, and that will cut out in 40 minutes. The reason I use that is so that other people that's also starting out, they a lot of times when I share with people, and I've even seen Tony Robbins or Hannes Dreyer or other people on their courses, people make a lot of excuses why they can't do that. So I want to do it as cheap as possible, and the equipment and stuff, I try to go for cheap and free so that other people will see, but if this guy can do that cheap and free, then maybe I could. So maybe just to help you raise your faith a little bit, that the creator has something for you that you might be able to do. So my passion is to help willing people achieve a little more than what they could on their own. My vision and mission statement on the website, we create jobs for jobless and minority groups. Vision statement is to empower people to achieve financial security and to be contributing members of society again. Now, the goal is to even work with people that come off the street, that we can help them start somewhere again. And my reason or my why is because of this verse in Leviticus 25, where he says, and if thy brother be waxen poor and fallen in decay with thee, then thou shalt relieve him, yea, through though he be a stranger or a sojourner, that he may live with thee. So that we help each other and not let people be homeless or not being taken care of. And that's why I do these presentations, so that people can have hope and even maybe a second chance, because there's a lot of bad things happening and negativity going on now, especially. So my disclaimer is that I never give advice. I tell hypothetical stories, and we don't need to take orders from anybody. So you're not in the military, and I can guide you and I can give you some ideas, but you're the captain of your own ship, and if you're willing to take responsibility for your own life, then you're welcome to join me. So this is just for educational purposes. It's not advice. And what you can expect from this is, imagine what could you do with this information if you had the ability to basically communicate to other people your ideas or sell something to them that's also going to benefit them. What would that do for you? How would you use this information? So imagine what would you do if you have enough clients? Wouldn't that be amazing? So another thing that comes up a lot is people think there's a catch behind it. And the closest that I can come to a catch is that because I'm a consultant, it might give you a free sample of what I'm able to help you with. And then in future, we might do business together. So even if I mention products and stuff, it's not necessary that you buy. It's just stuff that's going to help you. So I'm going to give you a 90-day plan that you can do yourself. So you don't need anything from me to do that. Now, obviously, you will have to have some skills. Now, I'll show you a lot of those skills in this webinar. And I'm planning on making more. So if there's something that I missed, then we can work it in, or I can have another webinar. So one of my benefits is that I get to know like-minded people. Many fellow business owners and businesses, or beginners especially, they struggle for various reasons. And presenting this gives me the chance to meet other business-minded people. Another one, and I think I touched on that, is it's a free no obligation sample. So then you can see what I'm doing and how that might benefit you. And like with that said, I'm not having a sales pitch in disguise. If you felt I wasted your time, then you can just let me know and I'll write you a voucher for $200. So just wait a minute. Like I mentioned, it's not for everybody. There's some basic skills that people need to have. Now, if you don't have it now, I can help you get it with some of my other products, but I'll also attempt to make a free video that can handle specific questions. Limited spots, usually because I try to do small groups. I'm introverted, I don't like big crowds. And that's also another reason why I can't help everybody, because I can only help so many people at a time. So what type of businesses do you have in the audience? If you could unmute, then, or maybe just type it in the text box, that would just give me an idea. Then I can adjust my presentation to help you. So while we wait for that, I'm usually looking for... Hi. You're
Hallo
unmute.
Jan, hoeveel mense is nou unmute?
Net jy.
Okay. So you want to know what type of business I'm in?
Yes. And is it yes, what type of business?
I'm actually a photographer and also an aerial photographer. So I did all type of photography, you know, model photography, product photography, and so forth and so forth. And then I went a little further into my field as an aerial photographer. And now I'm doing basically real estates, doing little videos for real estate guys so they can better sell their product. So I go in with a 3-axis gimbal and a video camera, and I film the inside of the house, and then I do some drone shots and drone videos of the property, and then I put it together in a nice package with the address and with some music, and I let the property basically flow from start to finish.
Okay, so
So yeah, that is what I do.
photography, excellent. Okay, and would you like to take that online or market that?
Yeah, I actually did. I did do some online marketing. Well, mostly Facebook, and then I got onto Property 24, and I got all the real estate email addresses and all that. So I basically emailed them samples and stuff like that for what I do. It went very well. And when this COVID came, yeah, everything just fell apart. And I think in the real estate industry that also happened. So yeah, that is where I'm now with my business.
Okay. So thank you for that. And I just want to share the monk story. I'm not sure if I told that. I had shared it on the group, but I don't know if everybody heard it. And also for the guys on the video. But there was this American student that wanted to learn from a Shaolin monk. And then he had a translator, and he asked about secrets of the Shaolin, and asked the master to teach him. And then he said he wanted to show them how to throw a punch. And then the guy said, but I've a black belt in martial arts. I know how to throw a punch, he said. And then the translator mentioned that to the master, and the master still said no, he wants to teach him how to throw a punch. And then later the master said, but no, I would like to see your punch. And then the guy showed him his punch. The master had lit a candle, and he asked him to stop a little bit in front of the candle. So he stopped about 10 centimeters, 5 inches from the candle, and perfect control, and he was very impressed with his own punch, and the master said that's a good punch. And then he showed him his punch. And then he threw a very short punch. And when he did that, he stopped about 1.5 feet, about longer than a ruler, away from the candle, and the flame went out. So the guy said, please teach me. That's the type of stuff I want to know. That's the secret stuff. He said, yeah, the master's been trying to tell you. He wants to show you how to throw a punch. So that's what I'm going to do today. I'm going to show you my punch, and I'm also going to listen to what you've been doing, and how that worked for you. Now, the basics is just to focus on one thing and do it over and over again for at least 90 days, so that you can get it under the belt, and you know how to work it inside out, even in your sleep. Then you spend enough time in the conscious competent stage so that you become unconsciously competent. Like any habit, like with driving, when you first started driving, sometimes some people, they don't even want you to talk. They just say, keep quiet, I'm concentrating. And then later with years of experience, some people can drink and smoke and change the CD while they're changing gears. And I wouldn't advocate for that, but then they get it under their belt. So the one thing is get the basics right. Do it over and over. The other one is that we have unconscious things that keep us back. You've probably, have you ever seen a lion, not a lion, an elephant with a rope around its leg, and it's just pegged into the ground? And the way they teach them is when the elephant is very little, they would take a chain and put it around a tree so that the elephant would try for a few days to get loose. And then later his foot will hurt so much, then the slightest pressure that he will feel, he will stop. So then he won't yank the chain anymore. So that's what happens. And then they stop, and you can use a very flimsy rope with a pin in the ground. The elephant doesn't know the difference. Same thing happens with fleas in a bottle. I have this YouTube video that I can send you the link or put it in the description, and you can watch it later. Just for copyright and other issues, I'm not going to play that, but this is a very good example. Fleas in a bottle, they would jump high, but if you put the lid on, after a certain amount of time, it's knocked its head so many times that it learned to miss the lid by a little bit. Then you can take off the lid and they won't jump out of the bottle. They have been conditioned. But the sad part about that is that their children will imitate them, and they will never be able to jump higher than their parents. And that's what happened to us. We have a lot of this stuff that we also got from our parents or our teachers and schools that keeps us back. And not because they wanted to, but that was the way they were trained. So by the way, if you have a lot of those type of stuff, some people call them limiting beliefs. I have a other program that's mental detox, just to help you to get over some of those things. So show me your punch, and to tie into that, what have you done a lot of to get clients that didn't work? Avi, if you would like to share, what have you done a lot of that didn't work?
Yeah, the thing that I've found out eventually is that all estate agents must pay their own basically advertisements, and they must also pay the telephone account at work, and they must pay the office space where they work. So I had to come down with pricing. I couldn't get my price for the product that I gave. But what I did is I gave them a smaller price, but I had to do more in a day. So I tried to accommodate more of the real estate agents, you know, for a lower price, so I can get more business in. But I could now do 3 to 4 videos per day for less money, and yeah, at the end of the day, that was working good for me. I had a guy that had a video shop that was basically also doing that type of thing, because he said you can get a video like for next to nothing, and it's a new release. And when you get a new release, you can take another 2 videos, and when you get the new release back before 5 in the afternoon, then you can have half of your money back. Now, he was sitting and looking at his store and says, okay, you know, it's expensive videos to rent, but the shelves was all full. So when he did this transaction with the people, his store was the most of the time was empty. Every video was rented, and when the guys came back and gave him his half of his money back, that guy took the half of the money and rented some videos again because it was only 5 p.m. in the afternoon. So he got more videos out. So this guy, they basically got his money, his 50% money back, and he rented out some more movies. Now he's got new releases again that he could rent out for the guys that comes in and want a nice night with the new release movie. So I took that from him and tried to put that into my business, and it worked very well. But like I said, everything came to a screeching halt in 2020.
Yeah, so you're basically saying that what you did do that worked was to reduce the price.
Yeah, reduced the price, but got more clients. With other words, I made up a little package. I told them, listen, I will do the videos, I will do the photos, a whole package for you for discounted price, and they must what they must do in return is to tell their office staff of me, so I can get in more business. So the more business I did, then obviously if I get a referral, the next time that I do work for them, they get a 30% off. That's how I work.
Okay. So this notification came up that the video is about to cut off. So I think let's just stop it here, and then I'll log in right afterwards. So then we started for another 40 minutes.
Cool, 100%.